wanted to talk about that. That has been announced and all the other big announcements from our live letter that happened on Friday. We can just chat about these things a bit because we got a lot of exciting announcements. Yeah, so this was on Friday. Of course, we did see the the trailer for the patch, which is, does this have spoilers on it? Let me see. Let me see the spoilers first. That's not spoiler. That's not spoiler. Yeah, it does. It does have spoiler, kinda. About the leader of Solution 9. It's got spoiler. Is there any other spoiler? No. Okay, I think I can just start it after the what I would consider to be a spoiler. Yeah, okay. Because I know we got players who are not done with the story, and that's something I think I'm hyper vigilant about that in FF14. In other games, I don't do it as much, of course, but FF14 is so story based that it's hard not to. Okay. So, Alliance Raid. This is the new Novice Hall, I think, isn't it? It definitely looks like it. So they put you in like a final testing ground after you practice all the mechanics. The new Novice Hall. This is the new Extreme Trial, which is going to be a banger. I have high hopes for this Extreme Trial. That's the one that's going to give us the wings with the glitch effect, which I'm going to show in a second. Kona content. Hell yeah, brother. I'm just like watching this to remind myself of FF11 raid. Apparently this is someone that people from FF11 recognize. I have no clue who this is. Role quest. I still need to finish my role quest, actually. Yep. Hildy quest. Oh wait, is Hildy quest coming on patch day? No. When's Hildy? It's December 17th, patch 7.15. Yeah. So a lot of this stuff is going to be spread out over the next few months. It's not all going to be at the same time. Oh, 1 second. 1 second. I need to get my phone over here so I can look at important stuff. Okay. My phone was dead. I think it just charged so I can see it again. Excuse me. Jung Hee, thank you for the 4-month resub. Ski Busky, thank you for the 15-month resub. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Do we know if Beastmaster is coming soon? That's a long, long way off. Yeah, I wouldn't expect that for at least a year. It's probably a year away. Maybe more. There's stuff going on here that literally nobody knows what it means. We have a Cloud of Darkness, which isn't coming in patch day. This is the big 24-man boss fight, which I have pretty high... I have mixed feelings about it, which I'll talk about in a second. And, of course, the crowning jewel of patch 7.1, the ultimate raid fight. This is the thing that I'm most excited for, even though it's not something I'm planning to actively participate in right now. Typically, I tend to challenge ultimate fights way later. I don't really want to do them on patch. I'll wait until, like, a long time has passed. And we have, you know, strats out. things like that. I'm not planning to blind prog ultimate. No, I very much doubt that I will do that. But I do want to watch it. Watching this is going to be fantastic. It's going to be fabulous and cool and awesome. Hey, coming back to the game. Oh, since A4S. Damn. What? A4S? That is a long time. That is a long time. Welcome back. What do you do? It's very easy. Only thing you need to do is follow your main story quests pop up on your UI. That's it. Follow the main story quests and just keep following it till you run out. That is my best advice. Nothing else should cause you any problems at all whatsoever. Yeah. You think the Ultimate Raid and the Chaotic Alliance raids are too close together. They're only a month apart, which is nuts. Yeah, and somebody brought that up to Yoshi P in the chat. And Yoshi P read that comment and he's like, oh, you said that it's too soon, too close to Ultimate Raid. Well, just clear Ultimate faster, is literally what he said. Easy. But in all seriousness, I feel like the Ultimate Raid is for different... I don't know if this is true, but I feel like the Ultimate Raid is for a different part of the community than the Chaotic Alliance Raid. Chaotic Alliance Raid seems like it's something that's going to be casual or mid-core, and Ultimate Raid is, of course, a pretty hardcore challenge. Now, casual and mid-core players can, of course, prog Ultimate, but it's just going to take them a lot longer. And so they might need to put their Ultimate prog on hold to do the Chaotic Alliance Raid. Here's my worry for the Chaotic Alliance Raid. Ponto, hey, thank you for the 17-month resub. I really appreciate that. Okay, on the one hand, yes, it's Bunarchy. It's 24 people in a fight. Yoshibi said that the Chaotic Alliance Raid, which calling it Alliance Raid, I think is misleading. I wouldn't call it that. You should call it a boss fight. 24-man Cloud of Darkness fight. A 24-man boss fight. 24-man trial, really. It's one boss. It's not Alliance Raid. But whatever. 24-man boss fight. He said it's going to be on the difficulty of a first level Savage boss. Like the first boss of a Savage tier. Or it's going to be like extreme trial type difficulty of the content. Which... Okay, which extreme trial are we talking about? Because some of them... When we say extreme trial, do we mean like Thornton? Or do we mean like Titania? What do we... But in any case, bringing 24 buns in there will definitely amp up the difficulty. A good bit. So... Yeah, well, 24 people melt the HP bar. Well, it depends on how much HP they put on the boss. I mean, we did 56-man raid in BA in Eureka. And it was awesome. That was... So I kind of wish that they had just made it 56-man. Why stop at 24? Let us put, like, a ridiculous number of people in there. Yeah. You can go in with 12. Like, 12 is the minimum. But you can go in with up to 24 people. People rushing the Ultimate, definitely more hardcore compared to something like Chaotic. Yes. If you're able to rush the Ultimate, then I don't know what do you need from the Chaotic Alliance raid? Chaotic does have gear rewards though, which is amazing. To me, that's evidence that they've listened to player feedback and giving us another pathway to get gear from. It's 730 gear, which is really, really good. And you can farm it infinitely. So that's different. They are shaking it up, shaking things up a little bit. But here's my concern. My concern is the same concern that I have literally every time they release a new content, because they do this every time. It's the same thing I said about Unreal when they released it, which I thought was a cool concept. And kind of the same thing I felt about the variant rewards. It's that what they do is they'll give you the content. It's got a bunch of good rewards in it, and everybody can get those rewards in like a week or less, or a week and a half or less, and then you're done, and you're not going to go back, really. Now maybe the gearing will fix that a little bit. If you can just farm it out for gear and gear up literally every single class in the game, that will definitely make it take longer. But there's still a question of replayability. That's a concern that I have, is the replayability. Maybe they could add in something like, with BA, the achievement that required you to kill the final boss 10 times. But not only kill the boss 10 times, you kind of need to be alive when the boss is dead to get credit. And I thought that was a really nice way of dealing with that. So you don't just get hard carried through the final boss and get 10 kills and you get your mount. Instead, the boss, if you don't know, in BA, final boss has a mechanic that will suck you out of the arena if you die. So you can't die. Yeah. Or you will get sucked out of the arena and you won't get credit towards your achievement, where you have to kill him 10 times. So I wouldn't mind there being something like that in the Alliance, the 24-man chaotic boss, because that, I think that really is a big reason why that mount got the prestige that it has, and got, like, made me as proud of having it, proud of helping other people get it as I do. Because even though I've got everything I need from BA, I have gone back there many times to help other people get their mounts, because it's fun. It's awesome. It's fun to do that. And the beauty of BA was, because of the system, being able to bring together casual people who have never been in a raid and people who are veterans who've been in lots of raids, and everybody had reasons to be there. So yeah, they said some of these rewards are going to be able to be sold on the market board, which is a concern of mine. I hope it's not the mount rewards, because I do think that the mounts need to have the prestige. They need to feel like you've achieved it. You didn't just buy it. You didn't have it gifted to you. You earned it, and it shows. That's what I think the best mounts are. So I usually do hard content stuff. I gave up the game after the post XP quests that made me jump out of my building. Hey, it's Quancy. Are you talking about post Heavensward quests that made you want to jump out of a building? Okay. Yeah, I definitely think you should just keep playing through the story in its entirety. Yeah, the rest of the story is it's good. It's really good. Really is most of it is very good. It is worth. You said, how's the new expansion story so far? Does the boost skip the post-expansion story part that's boring? Not all expansions had a boring post-expansion part. Some expansions had extremely good ones, like Stormblood and Shadowbringers had very, very good post-expansion stories. Like, amazing. In some cases, better than the base game story. At least as good, if not better. So, that's not true for every expansion, as you notice. But, yeah, you should just play it and make up your own mind. Yeah. That's imagine a 24-man Discord call. I mean, we do it all the time because we're running raids in World of Warcraft. We can bring in 30 people into those raids. And so I've done quite a few recently where we got 30 buns in the voice call. And usually it's people being very quiet and shy while I talk. But that might be because I'm streaming. If you're rushing Ultimate, you've already completed the game. I mean, yeah, kinda. Speaking of FF11, the music in BA is also from there. Oh yeah, the anxiety music. FCBA runs? Oh, hell no. Because... I don't think so. BA... How can I put that? One does not simply queue into BA. Yeah. You don't just decide, hey guys, let's go to BA and make a group and get in there. No. No, it's not like that. It's like a whole fucking operation where you need to have a group of people that's inside ready to do a fate at a certain time. People that are outside, like, people that in the open world doing the fate while you're inside doing the main part. You need to establish, like, who's going to be at what portal location, and everybody needs to kill the first fate boss at the same time so you get the buff so everybody can use the different portal locations, and you need to organize who goes to which portal, and nobody can click the portal too fast or it's going to mess it up for other people. Yeah, it's like, it's an ordeal. It is an ordeal. Can't imagine 24 people queuing for an entire Savage Alliance raid that could last more than 60 minutes. It just sounds tiring. Full Alliance Savage would kill any replayability. BA and DSR are super fun, but they're not as alive as Savage tier. I feel like Chaotic is designed to be a Savage tier that you can jump anywhere. BA is very alive, because there are discords that are dedicated only to that. So if you know where to look, you'll find that there are BA runs going several times a day, every day, on all regions. Yep. And as for it seeming tiring to queue for a Savage raid with tons of people in it, I mean, I think the answer to that is having the raid be flexible, which it looks like they're gonna do. You can bring in 12 people if you want. But, obviously, they said that they have tuned the balancing for 24 people. So even though you can bring in 12 people, it's balanced for 24 people. So does this mean that... What does this mean? We don't actually know yet. Does this mean that if we bring in 24 people, it's a face roll? And if you bring in 12 people, you're going to be fighting for your life in there? That's my guess. Yeah. That's what I guess. I don't know that. But, I think that's probably it. Basically, if you go in with 12 people, those 12 people need to do the work of 24 people. It's gonna be like 300 in there. It's gonna be Sparta in there for you. Yeah. Yeah. I generally keep myself muted in Discord unless I need to talk. Honestly, I usually do too. But I tend to be the person who is giving fight explanations and things. I know a good organization that can take you into BA. Oh. Well, I know a few too. Yep. I was just trying to do bunny fates and a couple forced me to join BA. Best day of my life. It's awesome. I do love it. It's a pain in the ass to get into it. It's a pain in the ass to organize, but it is extremely fun. Yeah. We've done BA with the Bun Buns before, but usually I just recommend people to join the same Discord as me, and we all just try to join the same run. Because there's people that run these things that have way more experience than I do, that are experts at running it. That's like their favorite thing to do. And so it's much better to run with people that have an entire Discord just for that. Because it's complicated. It's very complicated to set up. I think it would be the other way. With 12 people, there will be less margin for error. 24 people more up. That is going to depend a little bit on the mechanics that are in the 24-man. Yeah, that is going to depend on that. Because there could be mechanics that... Basically, if there's a mechanic that's like, every single person has, like, balls shooting out of their face and butt, then obviously the more people you bring in, the harder it's gonna be. No matter how it's tuned. Yeah. Except when we were too slow to kill Queen a few weeks ago. Hey, you're welcome. Yes, you're welcome. I have no problem stepping in to take control of the situation if I feel that it is required for me to do that. It did happen. Yeah. DR Savage is a lot easier to enter and a lot more streamlined. I think they learn a lot from BA. It is, however, I do agree with you. Like, I love this type of content, and I hope that we can see more of that. But my issue with DR Savage is that we got DR Regular as well. And I know that sounds insane, but hear me out. Because BA had one difficulty and one difficulty only, it forced everybody to be in the same difficulty. Casual players and veteran players. This ended up being very, very healthy for the community because you make new friends who might not do the same type of content as you typically, and everybody can learn from each other, and everyone can have a good time. And it's very rewarding and satisfying for everybody. With DR Savage, because they put a Savage mode and then they put the normal mode, more casual players just did the normal mode and felt like, okay, well, I'm done. I've seen it. I've done it. I don't feel the need to do DR Savage even for a mount because I have done this. I have seen it, and it didn't seem like this pie in the sky type of content. Like, and it was also DR Savage was harder than BA, which further separated people who would typically challenge harder content to go do DR Savage. And I feel like this was a bit of a misstep, actually. I wish that it had all just been one difficulty that's challenging enough where you can bring in a lot of people and learn and grow together and have that experience together like you can with BA. Not everybody would agree with that. Like, some people think that it should just be, you know, harder version and normal version, but I don't really feel that way. The mystery of BA, that's true. That's a very good point. As you're leveling through Eureka and you see this huge castle on the horizon, you've leveled through 3 different zones. You get to the final zone and you see this mysterious castle looming. And it just makes you wonder. Like, they really did a good job of developing that sense of mystique, which they didn't do with DR. And I think it did help. It made you want to go in the castle. It made everybody want to go and storm the castle. I think that really, it matters. It matters a lot. The amount of casual players that I've brought in DR Savage is extremely high. And they usually have a very high sense of accomplishment as a result. That's amazing. I am really happy to hear that. In fact, maybe you can bring me in there. I haven't cleared it. I've cleared a couple of bosses only. But it's been years now. Yeah, I wouldn't mind going in there to do that. Epic scale beats difficulty any day. Yes, the epic scale. I think that's what it's about. The magic and mystery of that big place everybody wants to go to. Yeah. Is it time to come out of retirement? I'm not sure. I'm not sure yet. Maybe. Yeah, close in the distance. Anyways, all this talk about the 24-man boss fight is kind of not relevant right now because we aren't doing that until freaking Christmas Eve. What the hell? Yoshi-P, why? Yoshi-P, why are you doing this? Why would you put the first part of the patch on Thanksgiving? Well, Thanksgiving is the week after. Ultimate is the 20th. Okay, Ultimate is actually Thanksgiving week. Okay, so he puts Ultimate on Thanksgiving, and then he decides to put the Chaotic Alliance raid on Christmas Eve. Yoshi P, doesn't care about Christmas or American holidays. Yoshi P being very rude. Neither of which are holidays in Japan. I think you're right. I mean, do they celebrate Christmas on the 24th? On the 25th, right? In Japan, when do they have Christmas? Japan. I don't think it's as big of a deal. I think for Japan, the New Year's is a bigger deal. Is a much bigger deal. Yeah. It's more as a couple's day. It's not like how it is over here. Yeah, it's just not as big of a deal. It's a fake Christmas. It's a date night and they eat KFC. Okay. Well, somebody brought this up with Yoshi P during the live letter. And they're like, why is this on Christmas? And he said, oh, well, you don't have to do it all at once. Actually, let me find his quote. Exactly. Because I want to misquote. I'm going to find exactly what he said. I'm pretty sure he said, you don't have to do it all at once, and it's okay. You can just do it whenever you want to. It's drove me crazy. He said, let me scroll up through all this merch. I wanted to find this quote from Yoshi P about why the hell would he put all these things during a Christmas and why he hates Christmas, but I can't find it now. It's too hard. What I'm pretty sure he said was that, well, you don't have to do it all at once. You can just do it whenever. Yeah. Did he say go play other games again? I think he did. I'm pretty sure he did, and it was we know everyone will be busy at the end of the year. Yeah. Yes. So please challenge it at your own pace. There's nothing wrong with taking your time. Please enjoy a variety of different games as well. Yes, he did. He literally said... Yeah. Okay, I found it, and I've confirmed. Yoshi P said once again to join Zepla's World of Warcraft guild. Only but... but keep subbing. Yeah. Yeah, he did say that. Okay, but anyways, that is Christmas Eve. For me, it's not that easy to just do it later, Yoshi P. I'm a streamer, and like, what am I supposed to tell my family? What am I supposed to do? What day is the 24th? Is it like a weekend? It's a Tuesday. Okay. In that case, usually my family has the Christmas on a weekend. So I might be okay here. I can probably have Christmas dinner on the weekend. Usually they do it before or after. It's right in the middle of the week. So that's okay. I lucked out this time. Yeah, Christmas is the 25th, Wednesday. And Tuesday is 24th. So yeah, I want to do this with the bun buns immediately. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna get a bun raid together, and we're gonna do so amazing at this. You should email Square Enix and get Yoshi P to say, join Zepla's WoW Guild. What makes you think that I have this kind of authority? I feel like I need to have blackmail on Yoshi P for him to say some shit like that. If I could get Yoshi P to say, join Zepla's WoW Guild, he'd be in my WoW Guild. But he's not. I don't have this kind of authority. That's right. Anyway, for a positive slant, people who don't have anything or anyone for Christmas get chaotic. Hey, I always stream on Christmas. Every year we stream on Christmas, and so if you don't have anywhere to go on Christmas, you don't have family to go visit, or you're far away from family, friends, loved ones, you are more than welcome to join us here for our yearly Christmas extravaganza. Don't even worry about it. We'd love to have you here. Join us for the Chaotic Alliance trade. I'll absolutely be doing that on the patch day. As soon as possible, we are going to get our buns in there, and we are going to kick ass at it. Because here's the thing. The difficulty is supposed to be that it's, if you bring in 24 random people, they're going to struggle. But we're buns. We're going to be coordinating, we're going to be working together, and crushing it. Will I be heading to Denmark again this year? Yes, but for New Year's. Because in Ukraine, New Year's is when we celebrate Christmas. We don't do Christmas on the 25th usually. That's an American thing. Ukrainians celebrate, they exchange gifts and everything. Like the big Christmas dinner and all that is New Year's Eve night. So I will be traveling to Denmark for that on New Year's. So I'll be there for New Year's. Yeah, that's my plan right now. Yeah. I'm sure there's going to be WoW stuff going on Christmas too. I mean, I'm going to be doing both things. I love that you stream on Christmas. I don't usually get to go home to Louisiana for the holidays. We always watch you. Well, thank you so much for being there. It's very, it's always really wholesome. It's always really wholesome. Now I'm back into FF. Like so many MMO will eventually make me suffer in skills. Well, the thing about FF is that, especially if you're already max level, it doesn't demand very much of your time at all. That's why this is pretty easy for me. I don't feel like... The main issue with multiple MMOs, I think, is just the sub fee. Paying 2 sub fees. Zep, will you be singing Christmas songs? I don't know, maybe. Only if you make me do that, then I will do that. We will not be singing 12 Days of Christmas. I hate 12 Days of Christmas, and I do not want to hear it. It is banned. Nobody is allowed to sing 12 Days. No, no, don't even think about it. That song is horrible. No. Not doing it. It's the worst Christmas song. Like Mr. Hanky and the Christmas Poo. Even that one is better than 12 Days of Christmas. More than Mariah Carey. Mariah Carey is fine. Mariah Carey is just a fixture of Christmas. If you don't like Mariah Carey at Christmas, you're not going to enjoy Christmas. Like basically, you need to get used to it because she's not going anywhere. She has defrosted. She has emerged from her slumber. She has left the chrysalis once again. And she is free. So you better like it or lump it if you want to be in the Christmas season. Okay. That's just how it is. Did you work in a department store during Christmas? Yes, I have. I worked in a toy store, actually, wrapping presents. A kid's toy store wrapping presents at Christmas. So rest assured, I have been one of Santa's elves before. Yes. You can just imagine the despair that was like. Yeah. It was rough. I learned how to wrap presents pretty fast, though. Yeah. I also worked selling otter boxes in the mall. Like, you know, those otter boxes for your iPhone or iPad in a kiosk. One of those kiosks, like, in the mall hallway where the person just sits there, like, chilling. That was me. I did that for quite some time. Honestly, I loved that job. It was awesome because I didn't have to I didn't have a lot of the store to deal with. Like, you have a tiny little square to stock, restock, and clean. It's like, it's almost nothing for you to even worry about. So I just sat there on my phone a lot of the time. And, but I did, of course, hear the Christmas music in the mall every day. Sad, but I hate Christmas and New Year Day. Too many bad stuff happened during these times. Well, hopefully, you can create some happy memories so that it won't always be bad memories, you know? You can create some happy memories that you can associate with these times. So it's always the same stuff. I worked several years in a mall making caramel corn as a teen. Good times, being able to live on part-time. Caramel corn in the mall. Really? Yeah. Will there be new relic weapons? No. I don't think so, no. Usually the relic weapons doesn't come until much later in the expansion's life cycle. So, like, the exploration zone that we're expecting next year. Oh my god, I can't believe it's next year. A whole year from now. In that exploration zone, that is when usually they also release relic stuff. Because the expectation is you go into the relic zone, exploration zone, to pick up crap you need for your relic weapons. That's the purpose it usually serves. So I would expect relic stuff to be tied in with exploration zone stuff. But that's going to be a year from now, at least. We're thinking like maybe September 2025. Yeah. It'll go a while. I get a lot of anxiety from all the expectations from family. It's given me anxiety attacks. I totally understand. Because I'm very different from my family. Look, I grew up in the deep south. I'm from Louisiana. And there's some topics that I just don't even want to discuss. And you have to make the decision, like, it sucks to be put in a situation where you're like, okay, do I want to cause a scene and, like, have an incident at Thanksgiving or Christmas because we're talking about this? Or do I just want to spend time with a family I barely see and try to create some good memories with them? It's awful being put in that position, but I know a lot of people are this time of year. And when I was a kid, I used to fight my mom on everything. Okay, I just constantly not just my mom, but my whole family. I would fight them, fight all the time. Constantly fight. And my brother would say, hey, I get what you're saying, but you're making your life harder. You know this. And I'm like, yeah, so it's worth it. And he's like, why are you doing this to yourself? You're so anxious. You're so stressed. Is it really worth it? He's like, why don't you just smile and nod for once? And yeah, I was just like, okay. I mean, I always struggled to smile and nod. I always struggled with that. My brother's super chill. My brother is a wonderful person. I really love him. My brother is the reason I'm into gaming. He is, he really was my best friend growing up because there was a lot of stressful things happening in our house, but he introduced me to gaming. Yeah, he was the one who would get me excited about the next games coming out. I would watch him play games, and I think that's why I like streaming so much, because it kind of reminds me of those times of just sitting with my brother in his room and just like watching him play GTA or us playing Halo or any of that. Playing World of Warcraft together. Like, he got me into World of Warcraft. We started that together. And so I think for me growing up, the games were always a refuge from a lot of the bullshit happening. Many people can probably agree with that, even now. Yeah. I imagine a young Zepla in Hot Topic clothing arguing with mom and dad. Oh yeah, that happened. That happened. And it only pushed me further and further to the fringe. Because it was difficult for us to have like normal conversations about things. So I would just get madder and madder. And just try to do more and more things to piss them off because I could. My dad was more chill though. So my dad usually was trying to help me out also. It's my mom that we were the ones who butted heads the most. Huzzp up, just started playing FFXIV and struggling to stay in the story as it's so much yapping. Should I just skip and watch a YouTube TLDR? Where are you in the story right now, DeathCon 5? Where are you at now? Being a grown adult is so much nicer. Yes, true. It is. Pray tell. Do they yap? You made me laugh. There is quite a bit of yapping. And chatting. And talking in the story. It's true. Heads up. I sent you a message on Twitter if you want to do DR Savage. Oh, awesome. Okay. Well, the timing needs to be perfect. So I'll think about it when the timing would work. But I like the idea. I like the idea a lot. You get used to their way of talking. Kinda. Yeah. You're level 13! Oh my god. You're level 13. You're struggling from the yapping already. Should I skip? Yes. If you're level 13 and you can't handle the yapping, bro, just skip to Shadowbringers and do Shadowbringers straight up. I normally wouldn't give that advice. But that's what I think you should do. Do Shadowbringers. So, skip specifically. Yeah. Look, Heaven's Word is great, but it has a ton of yapping in it. Okay, it does. It does. Okay, Shadowbringers is more grabs you by the seat of your butt and carries you along, like with action and exciting cutscenes. Heaven's Word is amazing intrigue and like political struggles and stuff that are very, very well written. But I feel like if you're struggling at level 13, you're not gonna like it. Yep. That's what I feel. That's honesty. Honesty. I'm skipping stories since I already have a 100 Viper on US servers. That's fine. If you've already got a character, it's okay. I see you like getting grabbed by the ass. What do you mean? Shark Sight, thank you so much for the 27-month resub. I do appreciate that a lot. Skip Stormblood without a shadow of a doubt. Yeah, I would skip Stormblood. Yep. Even though Stormblood patches are very important and good, especially the later ones, moving into Shadowbringers. When do we get new crafting recipes? That's a good question. Does anyone know? I have no clue. I don't do crafting at all. I have no idea about crafting. Yep. I'm working on a warrior tank girl of EU servers right now. Is it a bunny girl? Better be. It better be. The high of Shadowbringers isn't the same without the lows beforehand. I agree. But it's better to experience Shadowbringers at all than like lose someone in Realm Reborn that never comes back. Right? Like, I think it's better to have experienced Shadowbringers in some way. Maybe not in the best way, but in some way, rather than having them just drop.
Thank you, Optimus Prime.
That's kind of the choice some people have, because they have a different attention span. Feeling like an old man watching the kids complain about reading. It's important to read. What jobs do you like? Just starting and looking for recommendations. Dancer, dancer, dancer. That's what I'm gonna say. Dancer, dancer. Have you tried dancing? It's just the best, okay? What's the problem with Dancer? The problem with Dancer is you'll never be at the top of the DPS meter. If you are, things are going very, very badly in your team. Your role in the party is to buff the damage of other people, but that doesn't matter because you're going to be having the time of your life flowing around freely. You probably can't see what's on the screen, can you? No, you can't. Can't. Hee hee hee. What I will say is with the range support classes like Dancer, Machinist, and Bard, you don't have to stand still. That's what I like about these kinds of jobs. You can just constantly be moving at all times. So that alone makes it kind of easier to play in a raid where you're expected to do a lot of movement. You also on Dancer have dash. So I love Dancer. Dancer's awesome. Apart from that, well, let me think. I think Viper is a really solid beginner choice because with Viper it's very easy to play. You pretty much just hit the buttons that light up and you're good. So Viper's solid. Summoner is also really easy to play if you're new. Super, super easy. My issue with Summoner is that your weapon is a book, which is not very exciting. But it's a really, really good job. Yeah. Unfortunately, I came into 14 as a WoW player, and whenever I couldn't handle the yapping, I would skip through dialogue and cutscenes. You know what? You're gonna listen to that yapping and you're gonna like it by the time you get to Dawntrail. You're gonna wish you heard yapping by the time you get to the end of the game, because you're gonna be like, damn, this is amazing. It's voiced yapping. Crazy. I can actually hear the people yapping so I don't have to read it. So yeah, by the time one day you're gonna appreciate the yapping more. But coming from World of Warcraft, I will say, man, I started to get a little spoiled doing the WoW story because it's like totally different mindsets that the devs have when building these story experiences. With the WoW, the devs clearly make the experience assuming you will not read a single thing. They assume you are not going to read shit. So how do they deal with this? How do they tell a story to people that will not read anything? They constantly voice all the important stuff. They'll give you a quest, and the quest is, hey, can you pick up this Coca-Cola can? And here's how long it takes you to pick up the Coca-Cola can. Can you drink the Coca-Cola? And while you're doing this, while you're slowly picking up the Coca-Cola can, there's an NPC who's like, well, I am from Kazalgar, and here's what happened to my people. We were trying to get out of the caves, but then the bugs were attacking us, and you can't, you're not allowed to finish picking up the Coca-Cola can until they told you what the f is going on. And I think that's not a bad idea. I think it's actually a very good idea. Force you to listen. Yeah. Anyway. I wish everything was voiced. I completely agree. Yes. I really feel like it should. I wish at least the main story quest was voiced. You know, let's not get crazy here. Let's not get out of hand with our expectations. I think main story quests at least should be voiced. Raid stories should be voiced. Isn't it kind of double-edged though, where they put less effort in the text itself? I don't know about that. I feel like they put a good bit of effort this time. But it's very different to compare these two because, well, they don't, like, there's just not as much text. With FFXIV, there's so much freaking text. There's so much text. Yep. Stay a while and listen. 100% of MSQ should be voiced, and some of the more important side stuff should be. That's what I think. As a bare minimum, that is what I think. Then they nerf leveling, so want you to play WoW longer. Don't respect your time. What? Nerf leveling. I just leveled a high mountain Tauren from 1 to 80 in like a day over the weekend. It was easy. Maybe it took me 2 days to do that. And we're gonna get another buff from Burning Crusade Time Walking, I think, this week. So it's gonna, I feel like it's buffed to hell right now. It's insanely buffed. Did you see that voiceover AI add-on? Yeah, I'm using it. Actually, they have it for War Within and Dragonflight now. I use it for Classic WoW and Dragonflight and War Within. Yep. It is actually updated. It's amazing. I don't know what happened with the VA budget in Dawntrail. Like, what did they do with all the money they made in Shadowbringers Endwalker? That's what I have been scratching my head trying to figure out. I think it went into voicing the giants. I think it went to voicing the giants. Anyway, I wanted to look at other stuff that they had announced here. Yeah, they definitely made sure all the giant signs were voiced. And they talked very slowly. That was honestly that was one of the weirdest things that happened to me in this story. Like, I didn't hear VA for like so long, and then all of a sudden it's like, welcome, warrior of light. And I'm like, this is what you voiced? Oh, that was unreal. That was unreal. I don't know what they're thinking. I think I already blocked out anything that happened in Dawntrail. Well, you know what? You're going to be reminded pretty soon because I have my Dawntrail video coming out really soon. And I basically, rewatching it brought back so... it's just basically a lot of very specific incidents that I had issues with. And it'll remind you of the whole thing. It's an hour long. Yeah. So we talked about... No, we didn't. We actually didn't talk about the MSQ that is going to be added in 7.1. We didn't talk about that because we were talking about release dates. But the MSQ that's coming on Tuesday, not this, obviously not tomorrow, but next Tuesday, the 12th, I'm not going to do it the day of. I like to give y'all, and I like to give the mods, a lot of time to go through the story yourself. So that means that I'm going to be locked out of a lot of content. I don't know if I should do it on Friday or Monday. I'm kind of leaning towards Friday. I think it's going to depend on how long the story is. I'm going to guess not very long. So it's likely I might be able to do it on a Friday, the 15th, and hopefully y'all will have caught up by then. Yeah. I actually appreciate Dawntrail more over time, while still disliking the bad stuff. Well, at this point, I think we're kind of Doesn't matter if you like the story or not, because we're all in the same boat now. You know what I mean? Did you know the Niffin's rep mount is called Sniffer? No, I didn't know that, Amy. Not gonna lie, I really like Dawntrail. It's probably my favorite expansion so far. Man, I wish I was you. God. I really wish I felt that way. I wanted so bad to feel like that. I really, really did. Like, I ended up feeling really frustrated with myself and mad at myself that I couldn't like it. Like, I just couldn't make myself like it the way other people could. And that hurt even more. Like, it sucked that I didn't enjoy it, and then I was even more upset that I couldn't force it. You know? That I actually think for about a month after I went through I was very, very sad. I was super sad about it because I don't know. I wanted to feel different. I wanted to enjoy it so much. And there were some parts I did enjoy. Like Erinville parts were incredible. So I'm just trying to think back to the parts that I enjoy now that I've coped. It's okay. I can move on. But now I just try to remember that I didn't hate every second of it. There were parts that I truly, truly loved and adored. The parts where I was with Erinville. So I hope we get more of that in, yeah, I've reached the acceptance phase, I think. Maybe in the patch next week, I will have more time with Erinville. It would be great. Do you think it was maybe that you expected too much? No, not at all. I went in with literally no expectations, like zero. Zero expectations. Yeah. In fact, I expected it to be worse than usual. Post-traumatic story depression. Actually, yeah. Actually, yeah, I think I had that. I think I did have that. Not gonna lie. I did. I didn't know what to do because all my plans just kind of, God, it was rough. I appreciate Zep cares enough about her mods to give them a chance instead of being a content Karen. Yeah, well, if I was a content Karen, I would have had videos about Dawntrail out 4 months ago. So, yeah, instead, I just, you know, I don't know. The meet the parents moment, we got an Endwalker set the bar super high for any parental encounters from then on. Oh, yeah! Yeah, I definitely didn't overhype it. I definitely did not overhype it. I expected there to be lots of world building, slow quests. I didn't expect plot contrivance. Yes, exactly. That's how I felt. Are you guys telling me the end of the story is bad? Nobody can tell you if it's bad or not. Only you can decide that for yourself. As you've seen, there are some people here in the Twitch chat who enjoyed the story and gave their reasons why for them it resonated. But it's just it's a mixed bag, and it's impossible to predict whether you're going to be a person who enjoyed it or not. But unfortunately, this time there was an unusually high number of people who didn't enjoy it compared to typical. But you might still enjoy it. Yeah. And this isn't the end of the story. Thank you, Tack. That's right. It's not the end of the story. There is more, and there's a patch next week. So that's what we're talking about. What's going to happen next week? I mean, okay, I'll put it this way. I think if you didn't like Dawntrail, it's probably going to be the same stuff in 7.1. Because I don't think that they have changed things since I think they wrote it all at the same time. Like, I think they wrote 7.0, 7.1, 7.2, and maybe 7.3 at the same time. I think those are all gonna be the same. Like, vibe, story, themes, and stuff. I don't think that they write 7.1 after 7.0 is out. I think they are way further ahead than that on their dev cycle. I don't know that for sure, but that's my guess. So if they wanted to make adjustments based on player feedback, I think it probably wouldn't happen until 0.3 or 0.4. So temper your expectations with the story. So you're saying we get to speak with Wook yet again? Well, she's in the trailer, so yeah, I bet. I hope we do. I hope we do. I think Zepla is tsundere for Dawntrail. She says she doesn't like it, but talks about it all the time. I think that's fair. I think that's correct. Actually. I think that's actually correct. Because I am. It has Erinville in it. It's the expansion that had Erinville time in it. So of course, there are things I love, but I'm also like gonna be tsundere about it. I think that's actually accurate. But like I was gonna say, I hope we get a chance to speak with Wook in the new patch, because it's gonna be so hysterical. Like, people, I just want to see it for the memes value only. People are gonna absolutely lose their shit, even if it's one quest only. People are just gonna be like, oh god, let's pick one. It was set before Dawntrail even released. They might change a few small things. That's what I'm saying. That's what I think. Most I could see change-wise is if they have a non-VA scene. Yeah, maybe they could change some of the written text there. But I don't think that would be anything significant. Hi, Prince! Hello! Regardless of the story, the zones and world building were excellent in Dawntrail. The zones were beautiful. But I don't know if I should get into that. About the developers haven't learned anything. I can't. Well, we'll see what they say. Hi, what's the best controller for FF14? That's a question for the Bun in chat. Will we see a Dawntrail's worst expansion video? No, because it's too early to say. Maybe, but I think it's too early to say. With Endwalker, like, when I talk about an expansion being good or bad, I'm talking about the experience of the expansion over its life cycle. That's what I did with Endwalker. Like, how did I feel about how it went as an expansion, which includes the base game story, but it includes all the patches, all the content we got, all the MMO things that we had to do together. And Dawntrail is still very, very early in its life cycle before we could make a judgment. Like, was this a great expansion overall? We don't know yet. We don't know yet. But in terms of the story, well, that video is being made right now. That's different. I don't know what I should name it, okay? Because people, I can't be like, this is the worst story I've ever done. People would be very mad. People would be very mad. People were like, you know what would have been better? You know what would have been better for you to say instead of Endwalker is the worst expansion I have played? Maybe you should have said that was the least favorite expansion of mine. You should have called it, that was my least favorite expansion that I've played. That would have been less hurtful. And I'm like, okay. I don't know how I can phrase it that I don't hurt people's feelings. Gotta get the click. Listen, I think the amount of time that it's taken me to release this video is proof that I'm not in it for the clicks. Because if I wanted the clicks, I would have released it when everyone still gave a shit. You know, if I was in it for the clicks, I'd probably be, you know, I'd have the content out for people to click on. You think? It was, like, right after Dawntrail came out. That honestly would have been the perfect time to release Doomium videos. And like, oh, the story sucks. That would have been the time to do that when people cared, when it was being boosted by the algorithm. Yeah, but I mean, that's not really how I operate. I think I tend to make videos based on how I feel a lot, and that's not good. Like, sometimes it's good, Other times it's not so good. I tend to follow my emotion and like what I'm passionate about. Like, and ideally, I make a video that I'm happy about. That's, for me, that's peak video creation. That's my favorite. I'm excited about something. I can't wait to tell you about it and make a video. That's like amazing. That's why I do this. That's why I love doing this. I hate making critical videos. It sucks. It's so stressful because I'm like, oh, am I gonna hurt someone's feelings? Are people gonna be mad at me? It's awful. But obviously I have to be honest, so I fight through that and I just try to anyway. But I don't know, dude. I'm always worried, like, if I'm too mad, if I'm too angry, is this going to, like, muddy my point? And I no longer feel angry or mad, so I think now is probably a good time to post the content about the Dawntrail story, because I don't have as many emotions about it like I did when I first did it. I really did. I felt quite sad. FF14 needs to drop content a bit faster. Oh my god, yes they do. Yes they do. Yeah, I know. Waiting over a year to get explore content and stuff they showed at FanFest is not good. Yeah, it sucks to... We have people coming in the chat almost every day that are like, hey, are you... When is the exploration zone? When is Beastmaster? And I have to be like, probably over a year from now. You know, what... But we do have this, we have this boss fight that's coming, and I hope that it will last a little longer and give us something to do together for the long term. But just be at peace. Talk about the stuff you like, and talk about the stuff you dislike. I will try that. I will really try that. It's difficult though. I can't wait for an updated how to get every mount video. Oh yeah! I was actually working on that at the end of Endwalker. Work has been done on that. Just don't double down in clickbait titles. I think that's a good point. I think you're right. I think what I'll do for the next one is just run it by mods first. Because with the Endwalker video, I actually didn't run that video by anyone. I didn't ask anybody. I wasn't like, hey, is this a good title? Like, what do you think about this one? I was pissed off at the time, to be real with you. It really showed. I don't want to do that again. I think that's something that I've been scared about. Like, I went back and I watched that Endwalker video, and I felt like I was way too emotional in it. I felt like I was angry, and it was distracting from the good points I had to make. And that was something I was really worried about happening with Dawntrail. That's a reason why I've waited a long time, because I wanted to not be so emotional that it would distract from the valid points and criticisms that I had. Like I felt like happened a little bit in the Walker video. Will Dawntrail end FFXIV? No! I definitely don't think so. I don't think FFXIV is going anywhere. I don't think it's... I don't think it's dying or dead or anything. I think it will continue to do pretty well because it's an excellent RPG, no matter what. Like, it does have a shit ton of fantastic story for people to go through. My concern with FF14 now is its future as an MMO. And what I mean by that is an MMO that keeps social groups together. Playing together, doing things together, at the same time. At the same time. And, yeah. Dawntrail, the beginning of the end. That's a giga clickbait title. I'll just ask Twitch chat next time. Y'all have plenty of good ideas. I should just ask y'all for all my video titles. Yeah, for real. The game will not die anytime soon. It's got a strong audience, but it's going to stagnate, fall off based on MMO aspects and the story quality. Well, we'll see how the story quality hopefully will increase this year. because they've been making a huge push to allow you to play through all the MSQ without speaking to a single other real person. And now they're adding the duty support for non-MSQ dungeons also. So yeah. Sub goal, let chat decide YouTube title. Oh my god, I don't think sub goal would have to be pretty gigantic for me to not suffer from that. Here's the issue, right? You brought up Twitch views. People going through FF14 as story content, which they should because it's fantastic for that. That's one of the main draws of the game. They're unlikely to come watch that on Twitch because they're going through the story. They don't want to be spoiled. So like, they're doing it themselves. Maybe after they're done, they might watch someone go through that story, but it suffers in that sense as a story-based game. You know, the slow patches wouldn't feel bad if there was more repeatable each patch. I feel like 2 extremes and 4 savage bosses is so little. Most people don't want to do all the old school grinds or get every job to 100. There's actually a good reward for getting the jobs to 100 this time though, isn't it? It's a mount, right? What's the mount? I forgot. 14 is in conflict with an average FF fan, I think. Mainline FF games are long-ish single-player JRPGs. Well, this is a pretty long-ish, and a lot of it is single-player feelings. Is it wings? So, like, how does one stream FFXIV content that's not story? I usually will try to do stuff that's not spoilery, but it's not always possible. Like, I have, in the past few years, there's certain zones I even try to avoid completely. If there's, like, I can't really do trial roulette because trials can have intermissions that are very spoilery. I've had situations where I did a trial roulette on stream and I had to hide the game during the spoilery part because I didn't want to ruin that experience for people. But I mean, there's going to be a lot of dungeons that you can't really do that are going to be spoilery for people. So dungeon roulette can be difficult. I mean, yeah. The point is, that's why 14 feels more single player rather than an MMO. Oh, you mean that's their you think that's the primary audience that they're trying to appease first rather than MMO players? Like, do you think, and I've heard other people say this and I kind of agree, that the way they design it is RPG first, FF RPG first, MMO second. And it does feel like that. Streaming relic grinding is super boring. Yes, it is. I have done it. But, yeah, it can be pretty boring. I feel like streaming fishing is more interesting than streaming relic grinding. Like, ocean fishing? A little better. Sounds like 14 is bad for content creators. I think it is. Yeah. Look, I've been doing this for 8 years, so I think I know that it's really rough to make content for. But some of us do it because we passionate about it. But there's a lot of reasons why I think that is the case, and we've lost content creators recently because of that. Like Savix, for example, someone who was making amazing content for the game and just kind of he stopped doing it because he said they just didn't have enough to do. But I think part of it is also all these things kind of interconnect, right? All these things interconnect where consistent content, new content releases, gets people excited and they want to see what it is. They want to watch it on Twitch. They want to watch the videos about it. So that helps content creators. And it keeps the hype for the game up. FF14 is very chill. You know, it's like Yoshi P said in the last live letter, you know, you can log in whenever you want. There's going to be stuff around Christmas, but you don't have to do it then if you don't want to. You can, you know, whenever you feel like doing it, you can do it. And play other games in the meantime. Like, that's all well and good with the very relaxed and chill attitude that he has, but when it comes to the game's hype levels and making content for the game and like all that stuff, it's rough. Okay? It's rough. It's rough. Yep. But just kind of do it because I think the ones who keep doing it, keep making the content for it, do it because of love for the game. Yep. If you're looking for an untapped niche, male Rogadin armor previews. Literally nowhere to be found. Yeah. That's the thing too. The forbidden FF14 content flourishes and keeps the game alive. And I see this all the time. Like, the forbidden FF14 content, modding and things. I would love to do some of that stuff, but I can't stream it. That stuff can't be streamed. It's a really weird situation where a lot of that stuff that keeps the game alive, that keeps people playing at in-game, is something that content creators can't cover. We can't do. It's weird. It's a very awkward position to be in, you know. I just hope in the video and the title you feel comfortable expressing your true, full opinions on the story. Yeah, I think I've watched back the video that I made, that I recorded about Dawntrail, and I like it. It's not, like, I'm not getting angry. It feels very calm, rational, and, like, okay, these are the specific things that I took issue with, and here's why, with reasoning. I think if you do that, you're gonna be good. Personally, I hated Dawntrail my story quest. It was nice seeing your honest reactions on stream when you played through. And most other content creators I watch seem to be constantly compromising and lightening their critical opinions on Dawntrail's story with those of the player base. Just like in Endwalker when everyone was afraid to criticize anything about the game. I have sympathy for content creators who are thinking twice about being really critical about the game while they're playing it. Like, I can only really be honest because that's who I am as a person. But I don't, for people who feel like they need to soften their opinions on the stream, I totally understand that. I totally understand that because, like, you're on stream, you're here to have a good time, right? You want to have fun, you want to celebrate the game, you want to enjoy yourself, and you don't want to be like, wow, this sucks. Anyway, this game sucks ass. Anyway, be sure to tune into my next stream of this game. You know, it's like, okay, well, if you hate it so much, but I think that you can criticize a game but still find things that you enjoy about it, and that's the difficulty. That realizing that both of those things can happen at the same time. Yeah, you can and it's you don't have to, like, how can I put this in a non-lewd way? You can criticize it and still enjoy the thing that you're criticizing. Yeah. In fact, I think that if you criticize a thing with reasoning and in a calm way, it just shows that you care about it. It shows that you love it. You want it to do well. You want it to be better. And it's kind of can be a fine line between that and veering off a cliff of, like, negativity. And that was actually my concern, because I felt pretty bad doing Dawntrail main story, and my worry was that I was gonna be too toxic about it on stream. My worry was that I was gonna be, like, really being a hater. And so we actually had a system if you remember this, when I was playing through Dawntrail, I was like, okay guys, look, I don't want to just be super negative and be a hater. So if you think I'm being a hater, please write Popato in the chat. And so this will let me know that I'm getting carried away with my negativity and I need to cool it. I need to relax. And we had people typing Popato, Popato, Popato. So many times I was doing this story. Oh my god, I got so mad. The Popoto code. It actually helped. It did actually help. I had to be like, okay, guys. Alright, that's enough for today. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. It was like the safe word. Yes. I'm... I think you and other creators shouldn't be so gun-shy of saying how you feel. I used to be a lot more scared of saying how I feel. But I think with Endwalker is when I stopped being, trying to be diplomatic about my opinions. Before that, I had less to complain about, but I also, I did go through a long time where I was scared of saying how I really felt about stuff, because I was always too worried about upsetting somebody. But you can't, I mean, if you have an opinion, someone won't like it. That's a fact. If you say you like pancakes, somebody out there will say, F you. I hate pancakes. I like waffles. I can't believe you're out here promoting pancakes when I like waffles. What's wrong with you? God. Like, people really do this. Like, you can't have a conversation where you have opinions if you don't. On the internet. Basically, you can't. Some people will hate it. Opinions are like buns. No, they're like bun holes. Everybody's got one. Totally understand and agree. I appreciate your honesty. It's been hard for me to talk about Dawntrail on my FF friend groups because I don't want to beat a dead horse or be a downer. If they enjoyed it, I totally understand. But I think it's super important for content creators to give honest, critical feedback for the devs so they can do it better next time. That's the reason why I think that video is very important. But I totally understand how you feel. Like, if you're considerate of other people, you don't want to be a wet noodle in the group. You know? You don't want to be, like, raining on people's parade. Yes. You don't want to do that. But at the same time, it's kind of an insane thing that happened with this, with the story. That I think most of us didn't expect it to go like it did. That's something many people don't understand. Constructive criticism is necessary for MO's life expectancy. 14 suffers from severe toxic positivity, where people smack down all criticism. Yeah, they do. Yeah, it does. Did you say a safe word was Tectone? Tectone? Why are you bringing him into this? What are you talking about? I didn't bring up Tectone. Many long-term games always end up having an expansion that's not quite as good. Yes, honestly, that's a good point for Yorda. FF, it's crazy that it took this long for FF to have an expansion story that wasn't quite as good, to be real. They've been churning out banger after banger for quite some time. So, I mean, it was only a matter of time before they slipped up. Now, if the next expansion is also mixed opinions, well, I don't know what I'd do. I honestly don't even know what I would do. I don't know what I would do in that situation. Zepla, will you dabble on FRU when it releases? I think I'm planning to watch it. I think I would like to watch my friends do it. I think I'll watch. I don't really want to stress myself by doing that content. Can someone link the Dawntrail video? Not yet. It's still cooking. It's still cooking, don't worry. But we're trying to get it done before the patch. Next week. Every time I see scenes from Shadowbringers, my brain thinks, man, this was some great times. Oh my god. Cress. That's something that kind of took me out of my depression about FF14 that I felt after Dawntrail. Listening to some of the music again from the older expansions that I truly, truly loved. Like listening to Tomorrow and Tomorrow Again, listening to Footfalls, listening to Answers or Dragon Song. Like you listen to these songs and it reminds you of how you felt. It reminds you of like how incredible this game can really be. And that's still part of it. You know, that's all stuff that new players are going to get to experience for the first time and that they're doing today. They're doing right now. And I think for me, that's helped me a lot. Is just trying to remind myself that think of all of these new buns who they've never even heard Tomorrow and Tomorrow yet. But they will. And that's awesome. You know, I don't want to discourage people from playing the game because there's so much good in there for them to experience. And I think that's something that's always been very motivating to me as a streamer and creator is the new players. There's an obvious reason Dawntrail isn't as good. Emmett Elk. I mean, yeah. I know. Not enough Emmett Elk. Yeah, we just need some more we need some more sexy villains. I enjoyed Dawntrail, but I feel it dragged on too far between hype points. I think most people would agree with that. I think almost every bun would agree with that. People who liked it and who didn't like it. I really hope they remove the ether prison. It's super annoying when I have to DC travel for my static. Didn't they say that they were going to be doing something about that in the live letter? Hi, Arland. I think, didn't they say they were doing something where you would need to travel to a certain... Oh, it was for PvP. Yeah, it was for ranked PvP. That's not... I mean, maybe they're testing that system out with ranked PvP. Where they're going to have a designated data center that people travel to for the ranked PvP at certain times. Maybe they're testing that system with PvP and later on they could do that for PvE. I don't know. Shadowbringer's MSQ ending was probably one of the hardest hitting moments in gaming for me. Absolutely. Absolutely. Zepla, did you enjoy Stormblood? I'm thinking back to when I did Stormblood. I think I didn't. I think I didn't really like it. I liked Xenos a lot. I loved Xenos very much. But I wasn't wild about Stormblood. And I ended up not playing a lot of Stormblood when that expansion was active. Like, I didn't do a lot of raiding. I didn't do a lot of extreme trials. I was just not that hyped on the game at the time. And I only really got back into the game when during Stormblood patches. And of course, that was around the same time that they announced Vieira. So that was incredible. I also loved, that was also around the same time we were doing Eureka. So like most of Stormblood was kind of mid for me. And then the end of Stormblood was just amazing. So we had amazing patches for the story. We had Eureka, which was incredible to do. BA to do. Vieira announcement happened. And I was just freaking farming out BA and Eureka at the end of Stormblood, living my best life. And then that led straight into Shadowbringers, which obviously was incredible. So for me, end of Stormblood was just chef's kiss. And so I really hope something like that can happen for Dawntrail. I hope they can pull another Stormblood for me with Dawntrail. Like maybe the first part might be whatever, but have the later patches be really exciting, have hype announcements and like exploration zone be awesome like they did with Stormblood. They did it before, so I trust that they can do it again. Yep. I think that this is likely. I think this can happen too, because they said that they're going to have patch 7.1, 0.2, and 0.3 be continuations of 7.0 story. And however you feel about 7.0 story, that means that 7.4 and 0.5 are going to be about the new expansion, which is really good. I think that's what we needed for Dawntrail to help it out a little more. 0.4 and 0.5 hopefully will give us suspense and exciting things that leads us and makes us wonder what is going on in this new place. Who are we be fighting? what's the danger, and that will build the excitement and hype for what we're going to experience in 8.0, like we did with Stormblood.